Hey, Roman Tressa here with Peak Fitness, and today guys, we're going to talk about one of our most favorite subjects, and that's our cheat meal. Alright guys, like we stated in the introduction, today we're going to talk about our cheat meal. Now listen, I know nutrition is a huge part in losing weight. It is very important. Listen, you will hear it time and time again that it's, 10% in the gym, 90% in the kitchen, or 20% in the gym, 80% in the kitchen. It doesn't really matter. It could be 50% in the gym and 50% in the kitchen. It really doesn't matter. Nutrition is a huge aspect when it comes to losing weight. If your nutrition is not good and you're off and you're eating the wrong kinds of foods, not only are you not going to lose weight efficiently or sufficiently, you're not going to gain good lean muscle mass, and you'll be what we call like skinny fat, and it doesn't really give anything. Maybe you want to get some good definition and stuff like that. However though, we do need to do this thing what's called a refeed. And what a refeed really is you're kind of treating yourself. You are giving yourself that little treat. You've been good all week, you're eating right at right intervals, the right time, the right kind of food, so maybe you just want to have that cheat meal. But here's the thing, you've been so good, you don't want to ruin your progress but with the cheat meal. Now first and foremost guys, let's make this clear. We're talking about a cheat meal, one meal. We're not talking about a cheat day. We're talking one meal. Still eat properly throughout the day. Still eat the right kind of foods and the right snacks and drinking waters and exercising and everything else. But we're talking about one meal. So I'm going to show you guys a good cheat meal that I like to do generally on Fridays, and that is I will have pizza and some ice cream or something like that with the family. Maybe watch some a movie or something with them. We'll camp out in the living room. But here's the thing, I'm going to show you guys my healthier alternative pizza. Now this is not the cauliflower pizza that you probably can find everywhere. I will show you guys one day how to make that as well. It's not terrible. I'm going to show you another version where it tastes more like real pizza using, different types of breads and stuff like that. So, but on another note, earn this cheat meal. So for example, before you eat it or after you eat it, really work out. Make sure you're doing a good intense muscle or workout, such as resistance training, weight training or something, or doing a high intensity interval training. Do something so you really earn that cheat meal. So that way the carbohydrates you take in and the calories you take in will be offset a little bit. So that way it really still won't get stored. It'll get used right away as energy. So with that guys, I'm going to show you what we're going to need for this particular cheat meal. One of the first things you're going to need to do when getting your pizza made is go ahead and start preheating the oven before you start putting together your pizza. In this case, we want to go ahead and set the timer, or set it to bake at 450 degrees. That way, once we're done getting the pizza assembled, we can just throw it in the oven. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go ahead and take your crust out and obviously place it on a pizza pan. Now it's up to you whether or not if you want to coat this with an olive oil or not. That is completely up to you. I personally don't like doing that, so I won't. But if you want to, go for it. Next, we're going to go ahead and add the sauce. Now, I know this doesn't seem like rocket science, and I'm sure you guys probably know how to make a pizza, but, this is the nutritional part of the series here. Now, reason I chose the Great Value sauce is because of all the sauces that are out there, this is the one that had the least amount of calories, it was the one with the least amount of sodium, and it had the least amount of negative things in there. So I chose this one. Of all things, this is actually one of the better options. So now when you get your sauce on there, guys, make sure you do spread it nice and evenly. Now, on the sauce here, I do like more sauce than probably most people, but just add enough on there to lightly coat everything, so that way you guys will have, it will be a delicious pizza still. This will actually taste like an honest to God real pizza and not some fake thing. So, but just spread it evenly, make sure you leave enough for a crust. All right, next guys, we wanna go ahead and add our cheese. Now, it doesn't really matter what kind of cheese you're gonna use for this. I mean, I would obviously mean like mozzarella, but you can always add whatever cheese you want. My daughter made a cheddar cheese pizza, which was most interesting. What I'm talking about is whether you wanted a regular mozzarella, low-fat mozzarella, partially skimmed, 2%, whatever, it doesn't really matter. The healthier option would be to go with a skimmed or low-fat mozzarella. That would be the healthier option, and not just because, you know, it has fats in it. You know, you need fat, your body needs fats, but it's the least amount of calories in there, and it still tastes pretty good. The biggest problem I have with the low-fat mozzarella and like the 2% mozzarella is like the cheese itself doesn't really melt. It kind of stays almost like a powdery almost, but it still tastes good. It tastes like a pizza. It just doesn't really melt, and I kind of like the melting feature. So like I said, it's my cheat meal, but you can choose whatever kind of cheese you want. I try not to add no more than 2 servings worth of cheese on here, but again, it's a cheat meal. You can add as much as you like or as low as you like. So I'm gonna finish putting the cheese on here, then we'll go to the next topping. The next item is actually the pepperoni, turkey pepperoni. Now the reason I choose turkey pepperoni, it's a little bit better version of regular pepperoni. It doesn't taste as good in my opinion, but that's up to you guys whether you want it. Go ahead and add regular pepperoni or not. Again, it's a cheat meal. I don't care if you go to Domino's. But like I said, this is the healthier version of it. Now, again, I chose Great Value because it actually has the least amount of sodium than everything and than the other brands out there. It had just as much protein, just as many calories, but it had the least amount of sodium. This thing doesn't want to open still. So, and because there's actually no real solid evidence or link that sodium causes high blood pressure. I still am like old school thought on that a little bit, so I still try to go towards lower sodium so I don't store as much water. And go ahead and just place, you know, however much pepperoni you want. You know, I kind of have almost ADD, it feels, so it has to be like evenly spaced and stuff like that. And I load this thing up almost like meat lovers. Now the final step that I do with this is add cheese. Now real quick guys, if you want to add any other toppings, mushrooms, pineapple if you really want, sausage, or any other like maybe a veggie or something like that, go for it guys. This is the time to do it now, and you can also do it beforehand. But at this point, I'll actually add some more cheese because the pepperoni will kind of curl up and it won't really stick to the cheese too much. So I find if I add just a little bit of cheese over the top of the pepperoni, it kind of holds the pepperoni down. It doesn't have to be a lot, just we're talking very light. It's like it almost acts like a glue, holds that pepperoni down, and then it will stay on the pizza just a little bit better. Plus I like cheese. All right, next step now is just to throw the pizza in the oven. And make sure you cook it for between 8 to 10 minutes. There you go, the final product. Only about 10 minutes worth of cooking, and it's gonna taste just like a real pizza. Well, there you have it guys. Today's cheat meal. Yes, it is still a pizza, and yes, it's probably not the healthiest thing for you. But when we're talking about cheat meals, this is a much healthier option to go. It still tastes delicious. It's gonna satisfy that cravings that you've been having, get your mind right, and it'll make it so that way the next week or the next cheat meal you have, you'll definitely be worth it. You give yourself that little reward. Now, overall guys, that whole pizza is gonna be right around 1,030 calories for that whole thing. So keep in mind about that. That's why I want you to really earn your cheat meal. So make sure you get a good workout in, make sure you're still drinking a lot of water, make sure you're doing something to burn those calories. It's all right if you go a little over, you're gonna probably work it off anyways over during the week. But each slice is gonna give you right around 128 to 129 calories, which is not bad considering that most other pizzas are around 250 to 300 calories per slice. So with that, guys, hopefully you liked this video. If you did, go ahead, hit that like button. Also, if you got any comments or suggestions, go ahead, leave that in this comments section down below. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell for more notifications. With that, guys, thank you for watching and see you later.